Hey yo, what's up? It's me, Tomislav from Tomislav Arts. I'm a full-time artist, animator, and art director for a game development studio. And today I wanted to answer a question which I get every single day on Instagram and Facebook, and sometimes also on Twitter, which is basically young artists asking me how to get into the industry. Even though this video is mainly targeted towards artists, designers, animators, or whatever, it basically applies to most careers out there. The basic principle is almost always the same. This is basically coming from someone who was very dedicated, and at the end he got a pretty awesome job. So let's get started. Here's my 5 tips for everybody who wants to get hired, probably as an artist, but maybe you're a programmer. Tip number 1. Know what you want to do or specialize. You should at least have a slight idea of what you want to do, and you don't want to do too many things at the same time. You should always specialize on one thing, because spending 100% of the time on one thing will give you much bigger boosts in progress. It will make you much better instead of having to split 100% of your time on 5 skills, for example, which will then split 100% to those 5 skills, so each of them has 20% of your time. So how big can the progress really be of 100% time spent learning that thing versus 20? So this mostly applies to big employers though, because they already have so many people. So when they're looking for somebody, let's say you want to work for Blizzard and they're currently hiring a character designer. They are not interested in a character designer who can do web design, who can create logos. They want a character designer, and he should be good at what he's doing. Like, he should be the best. You could have like 1,000 things that you're good at, but they're only interested in seeing that one thing, and that one thing should be really awesome. You should be great at it. But if you're more interested in working into the indie space, those employers often don't have such a high budget to hire 20 people. They would often look for a jack of all trades. So you should have pretty good chances if you can edit a video for a trailer, draw, animate, and if you even have some skills in logo design, an indie developer, if you're looking into games, he would really have a big benefit of someone like you. But you know what they say, jack of all trades, master of none. I don't know how it really applies to the real world. I started as one, but now I'm kind of specializing in one thing, so it's really up to you what you want. You know, the clearer your goal is, the easier it makes to set on a single thing and proceed that way. Like, if you know you want to do something with art, your field is very big and you will have a choice between many things. But if you're specializing onto one field, like let's say you want to do character design, you want to draw characters, it can even be more specific, like creature design, where you animate and design little animals. Then if you're really good at that, then you have the choice of working into the game industry, the comic book industry, the movie industry even. It's limitless basically. And that's how you should think. Like, what is the general thing? I like drawing. Just do that all the time and then go for the industry you want. You can even switch industries afterwards. Nobody's stopping you. You could design furries all day long and then specialize at that, and maybe someone will make a furry game and you're the specialist at that, so you will get hired easily because you're the guy everybody knows and everybody talks about when it's about furries. Does that make sense yet? If you want me to do a video on what the benefits are in working on a small team, maybe 2 to 10 people, let me know, I will make one. Just write it in the comments down below. Alright, point 2. You should make a portfolio. And the portfolio, many people get stuck what the word is. A portfolio is nothing else than a collection of your work. And it should always only be your best work. I have reviewed so many portfolios in my career and I always see the same mistakes. People put in too many sketches, unfinished work. Nobody can picture what the final product would be because you're only posting sketches. And it's not forbidden to have sketches, don't get me wrong. I often see a sketch and I know, oh wow, if this was actually finished, this could be awesome if the right artist did it. So what is the best way to know what the best artist would be? It should probably be you, and you should post some of your final work. Like, it doesn't have to be like 100% rendered where you put hundreds of hours in there. There should at least be a handful of artworks that are at industry level, so they know if we hire this guy, this is the best he could do. Like, this is his absolute best. We could not expect anything better, maybe over time, but at the current state, this is his best kind of work. And they will know, okay, does this suit us? Is this just another sketch? Like, does he know more about art or does he just sketch? Is this all he can do? And probably the most important thing when it comes to portfolios, just show work that you actually like doing. There's no sense in putting stuff into your portfolio that is just there to fill your portfolio and you actually don't really like it. Only put stuff in there that you like, and if you don't have enough work to put in there, just create more. There's no necessity to have a portfolio done tomorrow. It can take years sometimes. It can always be updated. Don't even, if you think, okay, I don't have enough good work, maybe practice a little bit more, because chances are if you personally think you don't have enough work, that's good. The employer might think the same. Point number 3. You should apply even if the company is not hiring. Like if you know a big company or even a small company, any company really, if you go to their website and they're not hiring, just apply. Because what happens is they have a backlog of people they could contact in the case that they need somebody. Let's just take 1 second and put ourselves in the mind of an HR person who's working at Blizzard. You always get the emails portfolios. Your art director approved all those guys, he said they're all awesome, but you don't need them, so you have a backlog. So in our minds, we're the HR person and the CEO comes up and he says, okay, we have a new project, we need 10 artists, we need them at the end of the month. The easiest thing is to already contact those people you have in your backlog, ask them if they're available, pick them out if one is and one not, and maybe you will have like 2 open positions, but it's much easier and often much quicker to just take those people because you were at the big company, you were the number 1 company everybody wants to work at, so they will just probably take some people that already are interested and maybe they are available, so it's an easy way to find artists who are already interested. So going back to the mind of the artist who's trying to apply, let them know in advance that you are available in the future. Are you available on short notice? Can they contact you at any time and you are immediately free to work for them or not? Would you also join for a temporary project? So often they have a project, they need 5 more artists to finish something off and then they don't really need them anymore and then they would not like to fire you. They would just make a temporary contract which says at the end of this project you leave the company and you're good buddies and nobody's angry because people get fired. That's also good to get your foot into the company, but that might be another video. If you want one, leave a comment down below. Also, if you're looking for a long-term job position which you want to do for 5 or 10 years, many companies really want such people which they can trust and rely on, that they won't switch and leave for another company. So you could mention that. You should make it really easy to them to pick you. Don't overcomplicate things to them so they have to like figure out what kind of guy you are and what you would like to do. One big thing I learned from the graphic design industry, which I worked at before, be creative and stand out when you're applying. If you want to work in a creative position, they're looking for people who can problem solve very easily, and your current problem is that you don't have the job that they offer. So how do you solve it the most creative way? I've seen people send gift boxes or board games, or they have turned their application into an interactive game which is about them applying to the company and they got the job. You can read about such creative applications online, but you're the artist. Show them that you're creative. Show them that you're thinking outside the box. What's the coolest way you could apply and do that? Tip number 4. This is more for people who don't actually know where they want to work, or they don't feel very confident yet in their skills, so they want to get some experience. And the tip would be to join Facebook groups, forums, or something like an art platform like DeviantArt, ArtStation, Dribbble, Behance. There are so many of them, and trust me, employers look there. They are looking for people, especially if they don't have so many applications. They're trying to contact those people and see if they're maybe open for a short job. And you should be there, you should be active, you should post a lot of your stuff. Many people actually use their ArtStation as their portfolio. As I said, I've reviewed many portfolios before, and maybe 60% of them were just ArtStation links. And that's actually just perfect, because I'm familiar with the interface of ArtStation. I know where to find stuff, I know how it works, I know how to get to their social media from there. I often even check Instagram. Instagram is also a great portfolio, but sometimes you just don't find only art, you find a lot of different stuff. But if you send them your Instagram link, don't let them see your embarrassing selfies. A great example would be the Facebook groups. I'm part of maybe 3 or 4 indie game dev communities where people often post like, I need an artist, it's very low paid, but hey, if you're just starting, that's a great way to earn experience, even if it's for free, guys. It's basically way more important to have a ton of experience than a ton of money. No employer will ask you how much you earned with those little projects you did on the side. They will ask you maybe how much you learned from them. And what you learned and the real world experience you can bring to the table is so much more worth in the world. Trust me, I worked 3 years for free and I'm not ashamed to say so. I'm very proud of the time because I will never be the person I am if I didn't create tons, literally thousands of artworks which I just gave away for free because they were just from my experience. I don't care what people did with them. I don't care where people use this stuff. I did it for free. And I also did some free game projects, but they all failed because running a game is not possibly entirely free even if the artists are not paid. Point number 5, sell yourself in the best possible way. I don't literally mean sell yourself because human trafficking is kind of illegal. FBI, open up! In German, if you apply somewhere, it's called a Bewerbung, which literally means advertise something or yourself in that case. Werbung is advertisement. So what do advertisements do? You should not lie. Many do, but in the case of an application, you shouldn't lie. But you should try to focus on your better skills and on all the things that are in your favor. Even though they might be interesting to hear something else, you can talk about those things, you can write them, you can show them, but try to sell those things that you're comfortable with doing and that you're very good at. In my research, I remembered that I knew of a guy, I forgot his name, that ended up working in a big animation studio, and I think he worked on The Simpsons or something. When he applied, he knew the basics of animation, but he wasn't fully comfortable animating. He had only done little scenes, little things, but he applied and told them, yeah, I'm great at animation. He was scared as f*** because he didn't really work on something like that, something at a high professional level. What he did, he got the job and he was thrown into the cold water and he had to learn by doing, like learning by doing literally. Like if he didn't learn anything in the end, he would fly out the same door he came in, the same way Jazz flew out when Uncle Phil kicked him out. So he had to do his best, and I would not recommend doing something like it yourself, but it's your absolute dream and you are not ashamed of embarrassing yourself. It might be good for you. It might not be good for the company because they lost money and time on you. You might as well try it, but I'm not responsible. I just wanted to give you the information because I've heard of that and somehow motivated me to do certain things that I was not comfortable with, so it might help you. So these are my basic 5 tips. I know I threw in a lot of different tips regarding that one tip, but I hope I could help you. I know it's hard. I know you have to do a lot of work. I've been through that myself. If you have deeper questions that go into more detail, leave them in the comments or direct message me on social media like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm not that active, but Twitter and Instagram, you can always message me. I read every single message, every single comment on there, at least. YouTube I don't check as often, but I try to be more active on YouTube. So if you have ideas for tutorials and other things, leave them down below and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Until now, make sure you subscribe if you liked it. If you watched this far, at least give it a like. It will help me a lot. And I'll see you at the next video. Peace!